I get asked this question a lot. Look, how do I translate my message to get people not only to get interested and to engage, but to actually buy? Now, as with most skills when it comes to marketing, copywriting can be learned and mastered. Bam! Hey, I'm John Harris, and this is Info Products coming to you live from the bush. I will put this caveat because learning copywriting skills to the level of mastery is no mean feat, and it does take a period of time. And the question is, do you have that time? And do you really want to become a master copywriter? Most people don't. And those that get very good conversions and very good interactions normally use help of professionals. And I would suggest it's one of the areas that you subcontract, unless you've studied journalism or you are naturally gifted as a writer. So we're going to look at various aspects of copywriting, and you need to think about it as the key component of what a funnel is and what this whole process is about, because we've spoken about product creation and we've spoken about marketing. Now we're going on to the customer journey. And whether you're using a copywriting skill for an ad, whether you're using it for a landing page, whether you're using it for a launch sequence, there's a basic format you're following. It will vary slightly, but most of the time, if people look at your page and you're not getting conversion, or your ad, you're not getting traction, it's going to be based really on three things: the hook, the header, the content, the story, or the offer. If one of those is not of a high enough quality, if there's not enough value, if there's not enough intrigue to get a person to take the next step, it's not going to work. So let's have a look at some of the aspects that you need to think about when it comes to copywriting. And just as an extra, remember, for the copywriting, if you're looking for somebody, you can go to Fiverr, freelance, and there are many places now that you can get help with copywriters. If you don't have the money for a copywriter, well, then you need to start selling some extra, doing something extra to earn a little bit of money in order to get that money to go and pay for a copywriter. Maybe there's something else that you're good at, you can do extra of at night time, on weekends, and you can make a bit of extra money to pay for this. Very, very important. Your key aspect here is copywriting. The first part of the copywriting is the header. And it's got to be a hook. It's got to get people to stop in their tracks to take notice. And we know nowadays people are very, very busy, and they are bombarded with thousands of posts when they're online. They're just flipping down their phone, and they don't stop unless there's something that catches their attention. A lot of times it'll be a photo of in a header of an ad, and then they look at the header, then they look at the content. The header has to be a hook, and you've got to think of it as it is, a hook, fishing. So you're going to use different bait and you're going to do different hooks to catch different fish. And that's why we discussed previously about knowing your market, knowing your avatar, understanding who it is that you're going for. What type of hook is going to get them to go further in your journey? What kind of bait are you going to use? And to get some idea for complete novices, have a look at newspaper headings. Have a look at magazines. Go to popular magazines. See how they use a header to grab your attention. Start copying. Start making a copy file, a swipe file, and start putting some headers in there. Go to as many other sites as you can on their landing page or on their ads, and take those headers and then see how you can manipulate yours around that. You're not saying to plagiarize, but you can understand the concept and you can create a header around there. Very, very important. If your header doesn't get the traction, doesn't have the absolute engagement, the rest won't matter. The header is the most important thing. Then you're going to go into your main body. Look, you're going to look at getting a body of content of what it is that you do, why it's important, and you need to be putting it in a story format. Stories are part of humanity. We are hardwired to listen to stories. It's how we've passed on oral tradition for hundreds of thousands of years. We are hardwired to listen to stories. And if you have a very good, intriguing story, people will listen to you. They will listen to what you got to say. And you need to be explaining it in terms of benefits. If you can stack your benefits, that makes enough sense to solve the problem, and some of the problems they haven't thought about. Remember, somebody may have an initial type of problem that you're offering a solution to. You may then also be creating additional solutions that you're going to add later as bonuses. And that's what we come on to next. The bonuses really are going to be a continuation. You don't want them to be disingenuous or disconnected to what your main solution is. If you're doing something and you're helping, for example, with online traction for travel, you may then want to also tell them the weights of cases, destinations, health risks, various things that are very important these days. Your departure times, when to be there, and so on and so on and so forth. There may be other things that you can add, and there may be some real bonus you can say. You can say that, look, certain airlines now, on certain hand luggage has to be within a certain parameter. Any bigger than that, it has to go underneath in the hold. So there's lots of changes going on all the time, and it's very important to get those across to customers, and preferably in a very good, exciting content as a bonus, something that's very strong. If you look at the top producers, they are giving massive bonuses. If you look at some of the guys, they're giving you a very, very good book. And on top of that, they will be giving you training on how to utilize, how to take that book further and deeper. They'll give you video training. And that video training will take you further along that journey. They'll give you examples that you can utilize. They'll give you templates that you can incorporate into your program. These are bonuses that can be very popular and very powerful. They might have things like, other than templates, you can have blueprints, you can have various things, you can have various steps that they can follow, that they can use to go further down the track. So bonuses are very powerful. And the greater the bonuses, the greater the value, the more traction you're going to get. Obviously, if you're interested in a specific thing, if you're interested in marketing and you get training on say Facebook, and they're going to give you bonuses of exactly how to fill out and what to look at when you actually go onto the Facebook platform to start doing your business manager, to do your ads, and show you exactly how to set up your various templates, how to set up your ads, how to set up your ad sets, your campaigns, etc., etc. If they show you step by step, it's giving you more and more value. If they give you examples of those that have got traction and that you can manipulate, even more value. So you're adding bonuses, you're adding value all the time. It's got to be relevant to your market, to your avatar, and it's got to add massive value. I can't stress this enough. If you don't have the right hook, if you don't explain clearly and concisely in terms of benefits and within a story of intrigue and something of how you got results, and if you don't have the right kind of bonuses, you're not going to get people to follow through to continue on the journey. You're going to see where people may come in and fall off. Then you've got to know that is where you've got to measure things, and you've got to then try and improve that. So you're going to be looking at everything. If the ad's not converting, you're doing 5+ ads and seeing which ad gets the most traction. You're then going to look at your landing pages, see which gets the most traction, what kind of header is getting the most traction. You look at your video sales letter, see if that's getting. So these are all areas where you're going to have copy. And the copy's got to be very good. Otherwise, it won't get the desired result. We need to look at price and price justification. And a lot of times you can justify price. I mean, people drop price, other people add value. I still think it's best to add value, to position yourself as a special authority expert, and add as much value as you possibly can to so that people say, well, look, I'm getting this for the price of X, and basically I'm getting all the rest as freebies, because if I take the total amount, I know that I'll be paying a lot more. And if you get a very good value, people know what the pricing is out there. If they're getting a great value, plus they're getting all these extras, they understand that it's worthwhile going ahead with it. So you can justify your pricing. You're then going to, obviously, we've just talked about this, the scarcity, putting a time squeeze, the amount of time that's left before the shop window closes, a number of units, or the number of seats, whatever it may be. There's a limited number of seats, limited number of units, limited time. You need to have a squeeze for order to people to go ahead now, to be pressured a little bit to go ahead now. The idea here is people, if they generally don't go ahead now, not often do they go ahead later. Some do, but generally they don't. You need to get as many people up front as you can to get the card out and to buy and purchase right now to make that payment. And obviously you can then have upsells, cross-sells, etc. That call to action is critical. Tell the people what they need to do next. All these little things add conversion, add revenue to you. You need to say to them, click the button below, click the button to your next to the video, Tell them what to do next, and then once they know what to do, once they get that and they get a thank you page, tell them, go to your inbox, check out for the email, or you'll be getting this coming directly through to you. You need to be explaining all the time what's going to happen next. So up front, you're telling them, and they understand what to do, they understand what's next, there's no confusion, everything is pre-organized. Each stage is pre-organized. And one of the key things you need to understand about this, only do one thing. Each part of this process, of this journey, has only one function. So if you're doing an ad, your ad is only to get them to go through to learn more, to go onto the landing page. The landing page is only objective is to get them to give you the email address. If you're going to then go through to a sales page, the only objective is to get them to click the button to go to the order page. The order page to put in their details and make the purchase. The thank you page, obviously, to consolidate, to button up, and maybe to move them forward to the next step in the process. You need to think very, very hard and long about what is the one result you want from everything you're doing. Everything online is done from the end result. What is the end result you want? And make sure that you then ask them, okay, this is the one thing I want them to get them to do on this particular action. Even with your emails, there should be one thing that you want them to do. Each time you send an email out, there's one objective. And if you keep it simple like that, and you drive everything to that, and then close that box, and then order them to go into the next box, and close that lid, and close that lid, that's how you move them along the process. And you can escalate them up your value ladder. Okay, so that's as usual. Hope you enjoyed it. Perhaps come through to us, like us, follow us, subscribe to us. As usual, you can go to our info product page, a Facebook page, and there is a link there that you can get a free video on much deeper training. And we hope to see you in the next episode.